Every time you grab a bottle of full synthetic, you might be paying premium money for refined crude oil. Not some chemist's invention. Crude, pulled from the ground, then processed hard enough that the law lets the bottle say synthetic. And there's one reason that's legal. Once you know it, you'll never read an oil label the same way again. We looked at 9 full synthetics. 6 are leaning on a loophole. 3 are the real thing. Same word on the front, completely different liquid inside. And we're starting with the brand that created the loophole in the first place. But before the list, one thing you need to know. Look, most oils labeled full synthetic, they're actually crude oil, pumped from the ground and refined extremely hard until it looks clean. Real synthetics are different. They're built molecule by molecule in a lab. That's why they handle heat better and burn off less. Here's the catch. Back in 1999, Mobil took Castrol to court for selling refined crude as full synthetic. Castrol won. The court said crude that had been refined heavily enough could legally be called synthetic. And that ruling? That's why the word means almost nothing today. So every oil here faces one question. Refined crude or real lab-built synthetic? Which one's actually in the bottle? Number 1, Castrol Edge, the one who started it. We begin with the company that won the court case, because it's the reason this whole list exists. Castrol's one of the most trusted names in oil, and the Edge line is sold as their top full synthetic. But that ruling Castrol won back in '99, it was a ruling that their oil was refined crude, legally relabeled. And at Edge money, you can already grab a real lab-built synthetic on the same shelf, which makes the premium really hard to justify. Castrol's not poison. It's simply not what most people think they're buying. The brand that defined the category built on the loophole that broke it. And honestly, if the inventor of the loophole cuts that corner, watch what the budget players do with it. Number 2, Peak Full Synthetic. Premium word, budget oil. Here's your answer. Reported breakdowns of this oil put the vast majority of the base as refined crude, with only a trace of real synthetic. It clears the basic specs, so it's legal, and it'll run. But the additive package is thin compared to the bigger names, which means less margin when the oil's working hard. For the same few dollars, a store brand refined crude gives you the same base and admits what it is. Peak charges you for the word and keeps the chemistry budget. A budget oil, wearing a premium label. At least Peak's price is honest. The next one hides behind a name you already trust. Number 3, Quaker State Full Synthetic. Same company, cheaper bottle. This is the one that should make you angry, because the parent company knows better. Shell owns Quaker State, and Shell also owns Pennzoil. For Pennzoil Platinum, Shell uses a process that turns natural gas into a genuinely advanced base oil. Nothing like ordinary refined crude. That technology exists, in-house, on the same shelf, at nearly the same price. Quaker State Full Synthetic doesn't get it. It gets conventional refined crude. So when someone tells you it's all the same company, so it's the same oil, it's not. Shell saved its best chemistry for a different bottle and hoped you wouldn't check. Remember that bottle, because it shows up again near the top of this list.